Sandler and Aniston are so fun to watch together, and this movie is no different. A lot of reviews here are overly critical, but you're not watching a movie like this for an outstanding plot or mind-blowing acting. You're watching a movie like this to turn your brain off and have fun laughing at the ridiculous situations, slapstick comedy and oddball humor. This movie absolutely delivers all of those things. I laughed out loud on many occasions and truly enjoyed watching. If you enjoy silly Sandler movies, a bit of purposeful overacting, comical plot twists, quirky characters and fun action scenes, this movie is for you. I usually rate on expectations of the movie, and I didn't expect much but a mindless rom-com. This was a big disappointment, even for a film which I expected to be cheesy and fluff-filled. I'll give it good marks for production and location. If you turn the sound off and watch the background or make up your own dialogue, this wouldn't be a bad film. However, the dialogue is so bad, it's offensive, not like obscenity bad, just really, really stupid and lazy offensive. I would suggest not wasting your time with this, but go ahead and try. I'll bet within 15 minutes you'll have had enough. The spoiler is, this movie sucks. It's very similar to the last one, it's great fun, silly with lots of twists and turns and quite a few laughs. It made me laugh out loud on more than a few occasions. It's a good sequel, at least as good as the original, with a feel-good ending as you would expect. Okay, it's very ticky-boxy, it's full of cliches, but that's not a bad thing at all. Sandler and Aniston look like they get along and are having fun, all the character interactions are believable and the characters are good if a little silly at times. The script is pretty sharp and it's nice to see some characters in the first film make a return. At the end it leaves you with a smile and wanting them to return for another. It's no masterpiece, it's not a patch on something like Red Notice. But if you like the first one, this is worth spending your time on. Such a useless piece of cinematography. No added value, infantile humor, and a first-rate plot. Aniston seems to be stuck somewhere in the character of Rachel from Friends and hasn't moved anywhere personally or as an actor since. The role of Rachel suited her perfectly, but every other film project she's done since then has been a very weak offshoot of this beloved character that Aniston has built her entire career. Apparently, that's why Aniston hasn't been cast in big-budget films with any other subject matter than parody or family comedy. Murder Mystery 2 is no exception, except in this case I didn't even feel like finishing watching it. The combination of infantile scenes and jokes, and the overacted and illogical portrayal of the main characters, which after a while start to irritate intelligent minds, has absolutely nothing to offer. No fun at all, no uplifting ideas or messages, no value, despite the presence of movie stars like Melanie Laurent or Mark Strong. If you value your time, I don't recommend wasting it on this film. Like its predecessor, Murder Mystery 2 sets out to provide a breezy diversion and it largely succeeds. It isn't trying to be deep, or meaningful, or even riotously funny. But there's a good-natured charm to the proceedings thanks to the chemistry of the two leads, who manage to remain affable while quipping their way through the predictable plot. The supporting cast are one-note stereotypes: the vapid billionaire, the aggressive playboy, the coldly judgmental aristocrat, etc., but they're utilized sparingly enough not to wear out their respective welcomes. It's an enjoyable way to turn your brain off for 90 minutes or so. Nick and Audrey, Sandler and Aniston, have formed a detective agency, but they don't seem to have any clients. So they are free to attend the wedding of their friend Vic, the Maharaja. But there's a murder at the start of the festivities. So Nick and Audrey try to figure out who the murderer is. And one by one, they talk to the many, many suspects, who keep bursting into their room. It's all tongue-in-cheek. Silly, fast-talking, fast-action script. And of course, they are being framed as the bad guys. It's goofy but fun. Even has a Bollywood-style dance number. And, like any Sandler film, not to be taken too seriously. As the body count goes up, they get in deeper and deeper. Fun stuff. It's a good thing there's no security at La Tour Eiffel. Directed by Jeremy Gerlich. Story by James Vanderbilt, who had worked on Part 1, as well as several of the Scream films. Aren't the two of them rich enough? I haven't seen a movie this bad since Joe vs. the Volcano. A ridiculous storyline, ridiculous dialogue, ridiculous seeing changes. Just ridiculous. And I have always admired the work of Jennifer Aniston and Adam Sandler. After filming this, I assume they never watched it because they have to agree that this is the worst movie of their respective careers. I should give you a spoiler, but you must suffer through this like I did. If there is a murder mystery 3, I will be shocked. Who put up the money to make these things? I can see why it never made it to the theaters. Netflix must have money to burn.